Hi everyone. This is part 2 video on time value of money for the subject business finance. Here I brought the questions which were asked in Esther Year University of Madras question examinations. So this is the question taken from April 2024 question paper, sum number 20, which means it is a 10-mark question. So here the question is, Mr. Krishna invested rupees 2 lakh at 12% per annum for 2 years. What will be the value of investment after 2 years if interest is compounded half yearly, quarterly, monthly, which is more beneficial to Krishna? So with regard to interest, there are two different interests there. One is simple interest, the other one is compounded interest. The difference is simple interest will be directly applied on the amount invested, that is in principal amount every year, whereas in compound interest the interest for the second year will be calculated for not only on principal amount, principal plus interest of the first year, so that the interest will be calculated for principal plus interest every year. It will be accumulated and it will be more beneficial. So this is the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Here the question is, Krishna is going to invest rupees 2 lakh at the rate of 12% per annum for 2 years. So R is given and time period is also given, and they are asking if the interest is being compounded half yearly, quarterly, then what will be the beneficial to him, okay, which is more beneficial to him. And formula for finding the compound interest is A is equal to, that is amount is equal to principal amount into 1 plus R by N to the power of N into T. So there is a dot between N and T, which means N into T, that is N multiplied by with T, okay. Here A is amount after time, okay, and P is principal amount, and 1 is in the formula, and R is rate of interest, which is given in the question 12%. So எப்போவுமே calculationக்கு decimal convert பண்ணிக்கணும். So it will become 0.12. Then N is compounding period. Uh, you can often see the formula, the term N has different meaning in the different formulas. Here the N is number of compounding period. So when it is been half yearly, the interest is going to be given in a year. Half yearly means 2 times in a year. So N is 2 when it is been half yearly, and N is 4 when it is been quarterly, and N will become 12 when it is being a monthly compounding period, okay. Then T is time in year, that is 2, okay. And we have to apply the values into the formula to find the amount which we are going to take after 2 years with a compounding interest of half yearly, quarterly and monthly. See, first we will calculate the compounding interest for half yearly, okay. Here the N will become 2. So A is equal to principal, that is 2 lakh into 1 plus R is 0.12 divided by N will become 2 whole to the power of 2 into 2, that is not 2.2, 2 into 2, which is B, 2 multiplied by 2, that will become 4, okay. So when we are calculating this, we will get 2,52,500. So when Mr. Krishna is investing 2 lakh rupee at the rate of 12% for 2 years at the half yearly compounding interest, he will get 2,52,500. When it becomes quarterly, the N will become 4, the remaining are all same. So by calculating this, we will get 2,53,360, and if it is being compounded monthly, N will become 12, and Mr. Krishna will get 2,53,640. Okay, the question is, which is more beneficial to Krishna? Always we prefer where we are getting more return. Okay, when it is being half yearly, he will get 2,52,500. When it is being quarterly, 2,53,360. When it is being monthly, then his return will become 2,53,640. Among these three, he will get highest return when the interest is being compounded monthly. So monthly compounding is more beneficial to Mr. Krishna. So simply applying the values into the formula and getting answer and narrate the analysis, you will get full 10 marks. Then this is the question asked in April 2025 question paper, sum number 13, which means 5 marks question. A sum of money is invested in the beginning of every year. Interest rate is 20%. If interest is computed for first year on quarterly basis, what would be the effective rate of interest? Here the question is effective rate of interest. There is a formula for finding effective rate of interest. The formula is 1 plus r by n to the power of n minus 1. Okay. Here the n is 4. Why it is 4? Because they said that it is on quarterly basis, computed on quarterly basis. So n is 4. You apply the values into the formula. Effective rate of interest is equal to 1 plus r is 0.20 divided by n, that is 4 whole to the power of 4 minus 1. So when you are applying and calculating these values, you will get 0.2155. As we have converted the rate of interest into the decimal values, last what we have find is to be converted into percentage. So you multiplied it with 100, then the answer will become 21.55%. As we are finding the rate of interest, our answer is rate of interest. It should be expressed in terms of percentage. So the answer is 21.55%. For everything, you have to know the formula so that you can easily score marks, right? The next question is, this is the question from the question paper, November 2024, sum number 14. Again, it is a 5 marks question. Here the question is, what is the effective rate of interest if compounded quarterly, half-yearly and monthly? Okay, effective rate of interest formula is 1 plus r by n to the power of n minus 1 is the formula. Okay, we know the formula, whereas we must understand what is n in the various cases. If it is a half yearly, n is 2. If it is quarterly, n is 4. Monthly, n is 12. So if you are understanding this, we can easily apply into the formula and substitute into the formula, and we can find the value. If it has been half yearly, the expected rate of interest is 14.49%, quarterly 14.75%, and if it has been compounded monthly, then the rate of interest is 14.93. This is an answer, and this is a question taken from November 2024, 10 marks from part C, that is 10 marks question. Mr. Saravanan expects to receive rupees 20,000 at the beginning of each year for 4 years. Calculate the present value of the annuity due. See, present value of annuity due is nothing but he wants to get a benefit of 20,000 every year for 4 years. Then what is the amount that he has to invest now? That is the present value of the annuity due. Okay, assuming an interest rate is 9%, and for which we have a formula. Present value of annuity due is P into 1 by 1 plus r to the power of n. This is nothing but present value formula only. P into, that is principal amount, into, that is of annuity factor. So this is actually the formula for finding annuity factor, 1 by 1 plus r to the power of n. For this problem, if you have a logbook, if you know the annuity factor for 9% for 4 years, we can simply apply into that annuity value and multiply it with 20,000. Straight away, we will get the answer of 70,626. But we don't have a logarithm table here. So we are applying the formula. The formula for finding the annuity annual factor is, present value factor is 1 by 1 plus r to the power of n. Okay, P is 20,000, R is 9%, converted into decimal place for calculation 0.09, and N is 4 years. So now we are going to calculate the present value for all 4 years separately, and finally we can add everything together. The present value of 20,000 receivable at the beginning of first year. So which means on the same day he is going to receive. So the value of 20,000 will become same 20,000 on the same day. Okay. The next present value of 20,000 receivable at the beginning of second year. So 1 year has been lapsed. So after 1 year, he is going to get 20,000 rupee. Then what will be the value? Here the N is 1. And Next, that is third year beginning, he will get 20,000 rupee, which means after 2 years. So here the N is 2. And fourth year beginning, he will get 20,000, which means after 3 years, he will get money. So the N will become 3. So applying this into the formulas and find the values, then add together, you will get PV of annuity due is 70,626. Only by simply knowing the formula and understanding the N, you can easily score 10 marks. And I have sum up the formulas for calculating the amount after compounding interest is amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by N to the power of N into T. And expected effective rate of interest formula is 1 plus R by N to the power of N minus 1. And to find the present value of an annuity due is P into 1 by 1 plus R to the power of N. Thank you for